And man of God, I'm glad you're here at underscore freedom for life underscore. We're in a series of conversations about the 5 mistakes that Christian husbands make that jeopardize trust, but not just finding the mistakes that we're making or potentially making, but those 5 fixes, the 5 hacks to maybe get you a better relationship, to really upgrade the things that you desire, to really get your relationship into the area, the sphere, the vision that you've called and been created for. So first mistake, obviously we talked about already, it's being present but not present. Second mistake is really using scripture as words and trying to kind of use them as a weapon against our spouses versus using them as a mandate for humility, for love, and for action, for empowering words to be able to be used for your spouse and to really unleash them in understanding that you believe the best in them and are expecting the best for them because they are who they are. Third mistake, the third mistake that Christian husbands make that jeopardize or that potentially jeopardize trust is this: letting your work be your worth. Sometimes I think, obviously all the work we do with Life Mastery, we start with identity as the foundation of everything. And what I find is that a lot of times, myself included, we have an identity that's tied to our work. And in that place, we understand that my work is everything to me. And so I need to be successful and I need to get that promotion. I need to have that additional income, or maybe it's a business and I need to hit that 5, 6, 7 figure income that we're having in the business so that I can prove that I have value. And in that place, you'll put your time and energy into the things that bring you value and worth. And so when our work brings us worth, then that's where we put all of our time. And so it's nights, and so it's weekends, and so it's all these times, and it's evenings on the phone or whatever it is. It's giving your best to your workplace and the rest to your family. And in that place, while we should be diligent, we should try and strive for great success, right? Life mastery is living who you're created to be at the highest level you're created for in every area. And that includes in your vocation, in your relationship with work and with business. But it doesn't do it at the exclusion of the relationship with your family. Just as I am striving for my best in those places, job or business or what have you, I should be striving for those best of things for my relationship with my wife, that place of value and worth, that place of trust and authenticity, that place of vulnerability and unity. So sometimes we can confuse our identity with our performance, and by pursuing our calling, we forget to pursue our wives. I know there's only so many hours in the day, only so much time you can have. So it isn't meaning that ignore work and just put time into your relationship, because if that's the case, then you probably won't have a job or a business for long. It doesn't mean that I put 8 hours, 9 hours into my job or business, so I'll put 8 hours, 9 hours into my spouse. That's 18 hours there, and then I've got 24 hours in a day, so I have 6 hours to do everything else that's part of my life. It's not that either. It's understanding that pursuit of your wife is something that's done intentionally. I know you have done this because you've dated your wife probably before you married her. I know with my wife as well, there was a time where we were courting, if you want to talk about the old-fashioned Christian verse, but it's really going after my wife, dating her, being with her, having a relationship with her before we got married. Well, I found lots of time to engage with her, to talk to her, to speak things over her, to spend time with her, to sneak away from other people so we could have alone time together. I pursued her before we got married. The challenge is after we got married, that job was done, though victory was won, and I stopped doing it until I understood that my value of her is shown with my time intent in pursuing her. And so just as you're pursuing all those goals, really locked in and laser focused and putting all you have into it for your job or your business, what about the time when you're together with your spouse? It's so easy in our life to just get caught up, well, we're spending time together because we're both watching the same TV show, or we're having dinner together, or we're watching the same movie, or we're in church together, or all of those things, right? The activities with other people and the other things that you do isn't time together. It's time near each other doing those activities. Time together that I'm talking about, the pursuit that I'm giving you is the pursuit of me and you face to face, having conversation, sharing ideas and understanding, sharing our hearts with each other, sharing our goals and our dreams with each other, sharing our thoughts about what our life is happening, our life that's happening, our extended family, our kids, right? It's being able to share each other with each other so that we're more and more united. And in that place, being able to have the relationship that you desire. It's reclaiming your God-given identity and understanding that you're not just a man who works. You're a man who has an identity of worth, and it's played out in your workplace, but it's also played out in your home. You're a son first, not just a provider. You're a man first, not just a husband. And then at place, understanding who you are will give you the understanding of what investment you need to make in your home. For me, I'm a man of compassion, but I'm also passionate. I'm a man who's laser focused, and I'm very black and white. When I'm all in on something, I'm all in all the way. And in that case, what are those attributes able to give to the family that matter, to my wife and our dating and our time in relationship together and growing and developing in our marriage in these latter years of our marriage versus the early years? It looks different in different stages, but it looks the same in the character you give it. So in that place, when you start to understand identity, who you are, you start to understand the life that you're meant to live, you'll start to understand the investment you're supposed to have, the character of you showing up, as I say in my book and in our course. Your character is your calling. And my character in my relationship with my wife is my calling. That same man of compassion that helps animals and friends and people in need is the same man of compassion that should be there for my wife. That same man that passionately pursues the things that matter to me most in work and in hobbies and in relationship is the same one who should be passionately pursuing my wife. The man of strength and that concrete pillar of a man who is unshaken by the world around him but believes he's the difference that's to be made in the world around him should be that same pillar that his wife can count on in the home. These are all attributes that you have, all things that you can give to your family that you're giving to other areas of your life. So in that place, reclaim your identity. Understand that your character matters in your household more than anywhere else. And in that place, the same intentionality you give in those things that you do, whether it's your hobby or your recreational activities, your job, your business, is the same sort of intentionality and drive and determination you should give to your wife, to your spouse. And in that place, have the marriage that you couldn't have even imagined, a marriage that is so far beyond what you could have dreamed of. Life mastery, living from who you're created to be, identity, at the highest level you're created for. That's that dream and vision for your marriage. And in that area of life, you'll find great fulfillment as you live this out. Mark, I'm glad you're here at _Freedom for Life _. Do me a favor. Life mastery is where all of these concepts come from, and it really starts with identity. It's hard to unpack identity when your life is so loud. But we have a course, Life Mastery. You can see it in the link down below, a link to my website. There's also a link to my calendar. So if you want to have a conversation understanding what Life Mastery means for you and how you can engage in it with your life, really start to unpack identity so you can really be that man in your marriage, check out that link below. Get on my calendar so we can have that conversation. And if you do nothing else, dominate your day.